Now you're on to your second, hopefully final interview, but probably a third interview to go with it. But they're all pretty much different flavors of the same thing beyond this. The second interview typically tends to be with the line manager. This is your opportunity to shine. So a couple of things to bear in mind. Number one, their behavioral profile is almost certainly different from the HR professional. And if it's not different, there are different forces in play anyway. You'll need to get into more detail regarding your background, and I've said it before a number of times where you need to have a list of achievements that speak to different areas of work, like, project delivery, leadership, delegation, you name it, collaboration. Make sure you've got your work examples handy. If you need to write them down, feel free to write notes down and take those notes with you to an interview. It's okay to be in an interview and read some notes. Like, yeah, that's okay. You prepare for every other meeting with written notes. So prepare for this one with written notes. Make sure that everybody, if it's a face-to-face interview, that everybody in the room gets a copy of your resume when you walk in the door. Maybe they forgot, maybe they're running late, whatever. But if you've got a copy handy there to hand out, that's going to help you out tremendously. You want to make sure that when you give an example, a work example, of any description whatsoever, be ready for the probing follow-up question. It almost always happens. Also give the interviewer the opportunity to ask that question. So you can sort of lead it a little bit with that. If you didn't get, actually, you know what? No, strike that. Whether or not you received a satisfactory answer to what is the problem to be solved, you should be asking that question. You should be asking that question right at the beginning of this interview as well. The reason you want to do that is because if it's different, you don't want to walk down a completely different path. And even if it's the same, it helps to focus attention. So to use the example I've just used, let's say it's a sales leader's role. And I see from the job description that there seems to be a heavy focus on sales operations, sales process. Is that a challenge that you faced in the past? Yes or no? But as soon as they answer that, you now have something to respond to, rather than just say, here's me, this is what I do, and hoping for the best. It's the difference between pull selling and push selling. I know if you're a sales leader, you know the difference, but if you're not, you may not. And if you don't, look it up on Google. Push sell versus pull sell. You always want to pull sell. The best way to pull sell is to make sure that you know what the problem is to be solved at the beginning of the meeting. So that will do it for interviewing. Moving on.